3 years ago, I walked out of a grocery store having spent $60 on herbs, greens, and vegetables. And I remember standing in the parking lot thinking, I have a garden. Why am I still doing this? The answer, when I finally figured out, had nothing to do with skill or space or effort. It came down to 1 month, one window. And most people completely waste it. April is not just another month on the gardening calendar. April is the single most important planting month of the entire year. Miss it, and you spend the rest of the season playing catch-up. Use it right, and your garden practically runs itself from spring all the way into fall. But here's what most gardeners are actually doing in April. They're planting the same 3 things they planted last year. Maybe tomatoes. Maybe some peppers. Maybe a couple of herbs they saw at the garden center. And then they wonder why their garden never really takes off. Why are they still walking into the grocery store every week spending money they didn't have to spend? Still picking up $4 bunches of wilted herbs they could grow on their windowsill for almost nothing. Still buying bags of salad greens that go bad in 3 days. Here's the truth. If you skip the April window, you are not just missing one harvest. You are losing months of fresh food, fresh medicine, and real savings that you could have had for the cost of a seed packet. And that's exactly what we're fixing today. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 12 crops that smart gardeners start every single April. Every crop on this list was chosen for a reason. These are plants that thrive when planted now, that give you real returns all season long, and most of them have benefits that go way beyond what you'll find on a grocery store label. By the time this video is done, you will know exactly what to plant, why April is the perfect time for each one, and how to get started even if you've never grown anything before. This information is going to change your results this season and every season after. Welcome back to Mina Explains Plants. If you're new here, this is the channel where we make healing plants simple. Whether you have a big backyard or just a few pots on a balcony, this channel is for you. I'm so glad you found it. Before we jump into the list, if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon. I post new videos every day covering medicinal plants, natural remedies, and practical growing tips. You do not want to miss what's coming. Alright, let's get into it. We're starting at number 12 and counting all the way down to number 1, and I promise you, number 1 is going to surprise you. Crop number 12. Radishes. Now, before you think this one is too simple, stay with me for a second, because radishes are hiding something most people completely overlook. Radishes are the fastest growing crop you can put in the ground. We're talking 22 to 30 days from seed to harvest. That is not an exaggeration. If you plant radishes this week, you could be pulling them out of the ground before the end of the month. April is perfect for radishes because they are cool season crops. They love the exact soil temperatures that April gives you. The moment summer heat arrives and the ground warms up, radishes bolt. They go to seed, turn hot and woody, and the growing window closes. But plant them now, and you are working perfectly with their natural cycle. Here is what most people don't know about radishes. Beyond the crisp, peppery flavor, radishes are actually a powerful plant for liver and digestive health. They stimulate bile production, support your body's ability to break down fats, and contain compounds that researchers have studied for their natural detox support. You are never going to see that on a bag at the grocery store. Grow them in loose, well-draining soil. Don't overthink it. The number 1 mistake with radishes is planting them in hard, compacted ground where the roots can't expand properly. Loosen the soil a few inches down, scatter your seeds, barely cover them, water gently, and step back. They do the rest. Pro tip: plant a short row every 10 to 14 days. This is called succession planting, and it means you always have a fresh batch coming in rather than everything maturing at once. Crop number 11. Swiss chard. Swiss chard is one of the most underrated vegetables you can grow, and April is the time to get it started. Here's what makes chard special. It is a cut-and-come-again plant. You harvest the outer leaves, and the center keeps pushing out new growth. One plant, planted in April, can produce fresh greens for you from spring all the way through fall. That kind of value from a single plant is almost impossible to beat. What most people also miss is the medicinal side of chard. Those colorful stems are not just beautiful. They contain beta-cyanins, which are potent antioxidant compounds. The leaves themselves are rich in lutein and zeaxanthin, which are the key nutrients for long-term eye health. Fresh chard is genuinely functional food. Plant it in good soil with consistent moisture. Give it full sun, though it tolerates partial shade better than most greens. Harvest regularly to keep the plant productive, and it will reward you all season long. Crop number 10. Cilantro. Cilantro has a secret that most people who grow it don't even know about. Most gardeners think of cilantro as purely a kitchen herb, something you throw on tacos or add to salsa. And yes, it's incredible for that. But cilantro is also one of the most studied herbs for supporting the body's natural ability to bind and eliminate heavy metals. That is a serious health benefit sitting quietly in a very ordinary-looking plant. Now here's the critical thing about growing cilantro. It hates heat. The moment consistent warm temperatures arrive, cilantro bolts and becomes bitter almost overnight. This is why April is the absolute sweet spot. You get weeks of lush, flavorful growth during the cool spring weather before that heat arrives. Directly sow it into the soil. Do not try to transplant cilantro. It hates having its roots disturbed and will bolt almost immediately if you stress it. Scatter the seeds, press them lightly into the soil, keep them moist, and thin the seedlings once they're a few inches tall. Here's a pro tip that changes everything. When your cilantro does eventually bolt, don't pull it out. Let it go to seed. Those seeds are coriander, a completely different spice with its own distinct flavor and its own set of medicinal properties. One plant gives you two completely different harvests. Crop number 9. Bass. Peas are one of the great April crops, and the biggest mistake gardeners make with them is waiting too long to plant. Peas are cold season plants. They actually prefer cool soil and cool air. Most gardeners wait until late spring. The temperatures are already climbing, and the peas struggle, produce poorly, and finish early. But plant them in April right now, and you're giving them exactly what they want. The flavor difference between homegrown peas and store-bought peas is dramatic. Here's the science behind it. The moment a pea is picked, the sugars inside it begin converting to starch. This happens fast. The peas you buy at the grocery store, whether fresh or frozen, have already lost a significant amount of that natural sweetness by the time they reach you. A pea you pick and eat the same day from your own garden is a completely different food. The sweetness is real and immediate in a way that's hard to describe until you experience it. Beyond the flavor, peas do something almost no other crop does. They fix nitrogen from the air into your soil. That means every pea plant you grow is actively improving the ground for whatever you plant next. They're giving back while they produce. Give them something to climb. A simple trellis, a fence, even some branches pushed into the soil. They will grab on and grow upward, keeping the pods off the ground and making harvest easy. Crop number 8. Kale. Kale is everywhere in grocery stores and health food aisles right now. But here's what the packaging won't tell you. Kale that you harvest fresh from your garden and eat the same day is nutritionally in a completely different category from the kale that's been harvested, transported, chilled, packaged, shipped to a distribution center, and then sat on a grocery shelf for days. The degradation of vitamins and phytonutrients during that process is real and measurable. Growing your own kale isn't just about saving money. It's about getting the actual nutrition the plant is capable of providing. April is ideal for kale because, like most brassicas, it thrives in cool weather. Plant it now, and it establishes strong roots before summer heat arrives. Here is something genuinely fascinating about kale. A light frost actually makes it sweeter. When temperatures drop, the plant converts starches into sugars as a natural protection mechanism. Cold kale is better kale. Harvest the outer leaves consistently and leave the central growing point intact. One kale plant, properly managed, can produce fresh leaves for 6 months or longer. Crop number 7. Calendula. Now we are shifting gears because calendula is not a food crop. It is a medicinal herb, and it might quietly become one of the most valuable plants in your entire garden. Calendula flowers have been used for centuries for skin healing, wound care, and inflammation support. This isn't folk medicine guesswork. Modern research on the flavonoids and triterpene compounds in calendula confirms real, measurable anti-inflammatory activity. People around the world make calendula-infused oils, salves, and creams that genuinely work for dry skin, minor irritation, and everyday skincare. When you grow your own calendula, you can make these things yourself at almost no cost. April is a perfect time to sow calendula seeds. It likes cool weather to germinate and establishes beautifully before summer. Give it full sun and reasonably good soil. Here is the key thing with calendula. The more you harvest the flowers, the more the plant produces. If you let flowers go unpicked, the plant thinks its job is done and slows down. Keep harvesting and it keeps blooming all season long. Bonus: bees love calendula. It will significantly increase pollination for every other plant growing nearby. You are halfway through the list right now, and I want to give you a heads up about what's coming. The crops in the second half are the ones that most gardeners have never even thought about growing. Number 3 in particular completely changed the way I think about what a home garden is actually for. I think it's going to do the same for you. Keep watching. Real quick, drop a comment below and tell me which crop from this list you are most excited to start this April. I genuinely read every single comment, and I love hearing what you're growing. And if this video is giving you value, please hit the like button. It takes 2 seconds, and it genuinely helps more people find this channel. Thank you. Now back to the list. Crop number 6. Spinach. Spinach is one of the most efficient crops you can grow in April, and it's one of the fastest ways to add serious daily nutrition into your life from your own backyard. Here's the key thing to understand about spinach. It is extremely sensitive to heat. The moment temperatures start climbing above 75 degrees Fahrenheit consistently, spinach bolts, turns bitter, and the growing season is over. This is why the spinach you buy at the grocery store often tastes flat or even slightly metallic. It's been grown under conditions that stress the plant, which affects the flavor and the nutritional profile. April's soil temperatures are exactly what spinach loves. Plant it now, keep the soil consistently moist, and you can start harvesting baby leaves in 3 to 4 weeks. You never pull the whole plant, just snip outer leaves and let the center keep growing. The iron and magnesium in fresh raw spinach are more bioavailable than in cooked or processed versions. Eating it fresh from your garden, right after harvest, genuinely makes a difference in what your body can absorb. Crop number 5.
Chamomile.
Chamomile is one of the most beloved healing plants in the entire world, and it is also one of the most effortless things you will ever grow in a garden. Most people know chamomile as a calming bedtime tea, but the actual science behind why it works is more interesting than most people realize. The key compound in chamomile flowers is called apigenin, and it binds to specific receptors in the brain that help promote relaxation and reduce anxiety. This is not a placebo. This is measurable chemistry. Chamomile also has real anti-inflammatory effects that go beyond just the calming properties. When you grow your own chamomile, you can dry the flowers and make fresh tea all year long. One small patch in your garden, if you harvest and dry the flowers consistently through the season, can give you a full year's worth of chamomile tea at essentially zero cost. Here is how you plant it in April. Chamomile seeds are tiny, and they need light to germinate.
Do not bury them.
Just press them gently onto the surface of moist soil and keep them consistently damp for the first week or 2. They will sprout quickly in April's cool temperatures. One more thing. Chamomile self-seeds freely, which means once you grow it the first time, it will come back on its own every year without you having to do anything. It is one of the most low-maintenance medicinal plants you will ever find. Crop number 4.
Beets.
Here's something most people who grow beets have never been told. You're growing the wrong part. Yes, the beet root is delicious and nutritious. But the beet greens, the leafy tops that most gardeners either ignore or throw in the compost, are actually more nutritious than the root itself. Beet greens are loaded with iron, calcium, vitamin K, and a range of antioxidants that make them one of the most nutrient-dense greens in the entire garden. You can cook them exactly like spinach, add them to smoothies, sauté them with garlic, or use them fresh in salads. You get 2 completely different crops from one single plant. April is ideal for beets because they love cool soil. They germinate quickly and develop sweet, full-flavored roots when the ground is still on the cooler side. As temperatures rise through summer, The roots can become tougher and more earthy tasting. Get them in the ground now. The number one reason beets fail is hard, compacted soil. The root literally cannot expand if the ground is too firm. Before planting, loosen the soil at least 8 to 10 inches deep and work in some compost. Then plant your seeds about an inch deep, water well, and thin the seedlings once they're a few inches tall. Use those thinnings as microgreens. Nothing goes to waste. Crop number 3. Lemon balm. This is the one I mentioned earlier. This is the plant that genuinely changed the way I think about what a home garden can be. Lemon balm is a perennial herb in the mint family, and it is one of the most useful plants you can grow at home, not just in the garden, but in your actual daily life. Here's what lemon balm does. It is one of the most well-researched herbs for stress support, anxiety reduction, and sleep quality. The active compound in lemon balm, rosmarinic acid, has been shown in multiple clinical studies to measurably reduce anxiety and improve sleep. It supports healthy digestion. It has real antiviral properties. And it has a gentle, beautiful lemon flavor that almost everyone loves immediately. The way most people use it is simple. You grab a handful of fresh leaves, steep them in hot water for 10 minutes, and you have one of the most effective calming teas that exists anywhere at any price. You can add the fresh leaves to water, blend them into smoothies, and use them in cooking. The plant is extraordinarily versatile. And here's the best part about lemon balm. It is perennial. Plant it once in April, and it comes back every single year, bigger and more productive each time. It grows vigorously in most soil types, tolerates partial shade, and once established, it practically takes care of itself. Give it space because it will spread. But when you understand what this plant is worth, when your whole household is cutting fresh leaves for their morning tea, when you're drying bundles for the winter, when you're giving bags of it away to friends and family, you're going to wish you planted it sooner. Crop number 2. Lettuce. I know. Lettuce at number 2 sounds too simple. But this placement is intentional, and here's why. The average American family spends over $700 a year on fresh produce. A significant portion of that is bagged salad greens, loose leaf lettuce, and pre-washed mixes. And out of everything you can possibly grow in a garden, lettuce gives you the fastest, most immediate, most measurable return on investment of almost any crop. A single seed packet of mixed lettuce varieties costs less than $3. Managed properly with succession planting, meaning you plant a short row every 2 weeks, that packet can eliminate your salad budget for the entire spring and summer season. That math is real, and it adds up fast. But beyond the savings, the flavor difference is something that genuinely shocks people the first time they experience it. Fresh-cut lettuce from your garden, eaten within hours of harvest, is crisp and sweet in a way that bagged grocery store lettuce simply cannot match. The moment lettuce is harvested and starts sitting in a bag, it begins losing both moisture and flavor. What you grow yourself is a completely different eating experience. April is the perfect time because lettuce thrives in cool weather. It's fast. You can start harvesting baby leaves in as little as 3 weeks. Plant a mix of varieties. Loose leaf for daily cutting, romaine for substance and crunch, butterhead for that soft, rich flavor. Keep planting short rows every 2 weeks, and you'll have fresh lettuce continuously from now through early summer. And number 1. The most important April crop on this entire list. Tulsi, also known as holy basil. If you plant only one thing from this entire list, only one, make it this. Tulsi is one of the most revered medicinal plants in human history. It has been central to Ayurvedic wellness traditions for thousands of years, used across generations as a plant that supports the mind, the body, and overall vitality. And modern science is spending serious time and resources confirming what traditional healers have known for centuries. Here's what Tulsi actually does. It is classified as an adaptogen, a plant that helps your body manage and respond to stress more effectively over time. It supports healthy immune function. It helps regulate the body's cortisol response. It has significant anti-inflammatory properties. It has been studied for its potential to support healthy blood sugar levels. And the research consistently shows that the people who consume Tulsi regularly as a daily tea or in their cooking experience measurable benefits across multiple areas of health. Let me put it plainly. There is no supplement at the pharmacy that does what a daily cup of fresh Tulsi tea does naturally. The real thing, grown by you, harvested fresh, and steeped in hot water, is genuinely powerful in a way that dried supplements in capsules simply cannot replicate. Here is how you started in April. Tulsi loves warmth, so start your seeds indoors right now while the outdoor temperatures are still variable. It germinates best with some bottom heat. A windowsill above a heat source works well. Once your outdoor nighttime temperatures are consistently above 55 degrees Fahrenheit, transplant your seedlings outside into full sun. It grows fast once it's established. It's beautiful in the garden, and the fragrance alone will make you want to be near it. And here's the human truth behind why Tulsi is #1 on this list. Meena Explains Plants is not just about growing vegetables. It's not just about saving money at the grocery store, though we love that too. It's about growing things that make your life genuinely better. Your health, your energy, your peace of mind, your sense of being able to take care of yourself and the people you love with something you grew with your own hands. Tulsi is the plant that represents everything this channel stands for. It's healing, it's accessible, it's ancient, it's practical, and once you start growing it and using it daily, you will wonder how you ever lived without it. So there you have it. 12 crops that smart gardeners are starting right now in April while most people are still thinking about it. Radishes and spinach for fast, almost instant harvests. Kale and Swiss chard for greens that keep producing all season. Peas, beets, and lettuce for cutting your grocery bill in a real and immediate way. Cilantro and chamomile for your kitchen and your herbal tea collection. And calendula, lemon balm, and Tulsi, the healing plants that take your garden from just producing food to actively supporting your health every single day. April is not waiting for you. Every day that goes by is a day of growing season you cannot get back. The gardener who plants today will be harvesting in 3 weeks. The one who waits another month will be starting over in fall. You do not need a big yard. You do not need expensive equipment. You need seeds, decent soil, a little sunlight, and the knowledge you now have. That's it. Get outside. Get your hands in the soil. Your future self, standing in front of a full, thriving garden in the middle of July, picking fresh Tulsi for your morning tea, cutting lettuce for dinner, harvesting calendula flowers to dry. That person is going to be so glad you started today. April is begging you to plant these. Don't make it wait. If this video gave you value today, please give it a like. It genuinely helps more people find this channel, and that means more people growing healing plants and taking their health into their own hands, which is exactly what this community is about. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and hit the bell so you never miss a new video. I post every single day with practical plant knowledge you can use right away. And leave me a comment. Which crop are you starting first this April? I want to know. I read every single comment, and I will reply. I'll see you in the next one.